So we're gonna run through downtown area, then we're gonna go through Edgewood, then we're gonna hit Buckhead, and then we're gonna come back home. All right? Got my wallet, got my keys, put some gas in the car. We good. Let's go. So, we're at the Georgia Aquarium, the whole fam, about to take them in. This is it. So, got the goats. He's scared to pedal. He's scared to pedal. So, we're at Piedmont Park, the Jazz Festival, and just trying to find a parking space. I'm gonna let y'all get this view right here. This is the best view right here. I forgot. This is the best view right here, right here. So, this is Atlanta traffic. This is Atlanta traffic. It's 8:45, I think, at night, and it's packed. This is one reason why you wouldn't want to move to Atlanta. All this damn traffic, man. 9 o'clock, damn near 9 o'clock at night, and I'm just trying to get home. Can't get home because of all this traffic. Crazy, man. So, I know you all are wondering why, I showed you all those video clips in the very beginning of this video, and I'm going to explain it to you. Hear me out. Everything is relevant. Hear me out. So, I've made videos about Atlanta, for quite some time, at least about 3 to 4 years, ever since I left, and each and every time that I've made a video about Atlanta, people have oftentimes have attacked me in the comment section of those videos that I've made about Atlanta. And by attacking me, they would say, well, the reason why you moved back to Charlotte is because you were poor, you were broke, you wasn't making any money. Atlanta is a get money city, and it just wasn't for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like I have something to prove. That's not what it's about. It's about letting people know that that wasn't the case. That I generally didn't like Atlanta. That, if I chose, if I wanted to live in Atlanta, I could. Because when I was living in Atlanta, as you can see, I was living a decent life. I went to, different events that was in Atlanta and around the city, or rather Metro Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I always took my children out. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was Centennial Park, Jazz Festival when they had it, Malcolm X Day, what's the other one? Juneteenth. The list goes on. And plus, I was a member of the YMCA, so I could go to any kind of branch that was in Atlanta as well as around Metro Atlanta. So I had my moments where I had fun. You know what I'm saying? I took my children to the car shows when they came to Atlanta. And then on my personal time, you know what I'm saying? I used to go out to the hookah lounges, the clubs. I had friends down there. You know what I'm saying? Or rather, should I say associates. So it wasn't a thing where, Langston was broken. He wasn't living his so-called, quote-unquote, best life. And that's the reason why he moved back to Charlotte. If that's the case, why am I doing good here in Charlotte? Like, it just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So, since everybody wants to, I ain't gonna say everybody, but since some of you all want to chastise me and attack the messenger instead of the message, I'm going to come even harder. Pause. And I'm going to tell you the real reason why. 2 reasons why I really left Atlanta. You ready? Here it goes. Moment of truth. One is the Klan is there. Straight up. In Forsyth County and in Stone Mountain. Straight up. While I was living in Sandy Springs, the KKK had a rally at Stone Mountain. They actually had it on TV. So racism is nowhere near dead outside of 285. Straight up, it is alive. Go to Stone Mountain, and what you're going to see is Confederate soldiers carved. I forgot what general it is. Carved as well. Carved in that mountain. And it's crazy, the irony to this thing, because they're removing statues, of Confederate soldiers and lieutenants, you know what I'm saying, and generals all over the United States. Well, why hasn't the state of Georgia said, you know what, we're going to remove those generals and those soldiers off of Stone Mountain? Why is it still there? I know, because racism still exists in Atlanta. And the second thing, right, is ignorant NIGGERSs. And those, I'll say ninjas, those ninjas, you have to look out for more so than the Klan. Because they're going around the city limits of Atlanta as well as Metro Atlanta, wreaking havoc. Wreaking havoc. I saw a report, they said that within a 6-month radius, that there have been 1,000 cars broken into in Atlanta and Metro Atlanta. I'm making a point, hear me out. How many Uber and Lyft drivers have been killed in Atlanta? Senseless deaths have happened ever since I left. And while I was there, I seen it with my own eyes. Every day, someone either got shot or killed. That's real talk. Can't go in the mall because you'll be shopping, and next thing you know, you'll see a mob of people run in and just snatch everything off for the the coat hangers, all of that stuff that's hung up or off the table, snatch it and run out. Crime everywhere, no matter where you're at, even in Buckhead. Matter of fact, it's even worse in Buckhead. And this is what bugs me out. Because people will say that I'm broke. Or they'll say, these so-called uppity Negroes will say to people such as myself that makes these types of videos about Atlanta is that I'm bitter, that we're bitter, and that we're broke and we didn't make it in Atlanta. And as if we had money, then it wouldn't be a problem. Well, I'm asking you all uppity Negroes with your nose up in the air, boule, when has it ever been where money erases racism? Where money stops the crime? I'm trying to understand that. For real, make me understand that. That's real talk. Make me understand that. Because I'm sick and tired of people telling lies on me in the comment section of my videos. Like, oh, I don't have any skills, I didn't have any trades, and that's the reason why I didn't make it down there. Let me explain something to you. I was making money, and still am, ever since 2006 online. You get that? When I was in Atlanta, I had money in the bank. I mean, isn't it evident? You can't get in free when you want to, walk into the Georgia Aquarium. It's not for free. The Atlanta Zoo, that's not free. My lifestyle is probably way more higher than you all. I'm a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian for the last 17 years. When I shop, for groceries in Atlanta, and still to this day, is Whole Foods. And anyone knows about Whole Foods, you know that it's not cheap. It is very expensive. Very much so. So it wasn't because I didn't have any money that I left Atlanta. No, my lease was up, and I got tired of the crime. I got tired of seeing people that look like me in jail, are dead, are homeless. This is what bugs me out. You uppity Negroes have the nerve to say, oh, well, as long as you got money, you'll be all right. So you just do this every day when you walk out of your your high-rise building on a that you live in. You got a condo in Buckhead on the 16th, 17th floor. You just ignore all of the ills of Atlanta. And please don't tell me that you're immune to crime and racism. Don't tell me that. Because crime is everywhere. And the criminals don't care whether you're in a gated community or whether you got to get buzzed in a concierge. Most of the times the concierge is in on the fix. So many police officers down there, man. So many. And most of them, I'm not going to say all of them, most of them are racist, man. Racist. I was so happy I was so elated when I left Cobb County. So elated. You know how many run-ins I've had with Cobb County police? And then they have Marietta police. Then they have the state troopers. Then they have Georgia State Police. Each little town has their own police force. Dunwoody with their Suburbans, I think it was Suburban Jeeps or Tahoes. Sandy Springs. You know how many times I've gotten pulled over by the cops, by Sandy Springs cops? Last time I got pulled over, it was, let me be specific, it was from a failure to come to a complete stop at a stop sign. I went to court. I'm not even lying. I was sweating bullets. They had me shook. I thought I was going to jail. You know, they put me on probation for a minor, what does they call it? Minor traffic infraction or something like that. A stop sign. I didn't come to a complete stop. And I was on probation. I had to go see my probation officer. This is what these uppity Negroes don't tell you. Because they believe, see, they party like that talent and tip BS. You know what I'm saying? They believe that, you know what, as long as green is the color, there's no racism. Nobody sees color. As long as you have that money. Well, guess what? Why is it that I forgot that famous YouTuber that went to Houston's? Oh, yes, I'm getting in your ass. That went to Houston's. You know Houston's, right? That restaurant. Why was he racially profiled? Y'all forgot about that with T.I. and Killer Mike was they were protesting against Houston, the restaurant. It's so much racism down in Atlanta, it makes no sense. Or Metro Atlanta. In Atlanta city limits, there's a thing called classism. So don't give me that BS. Don't try to paint the picture like, oh, I was just broke and I had zero talents and I didn't have this and I didn't have that and blah, 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 blah. And I just, please, miss me with that. Miss me with that. My credit is great. I'm Gucci. Straight up. I've made my mistakes. I've had my bumps and bruises. And it's crazy because I've told you all, you know, about my mistakes and my bumps and bruises. Truly believing that you wouldn't use it against me. You know, like prime example, I talked about how back in the days, way before I moved to Charlotte, way before I moved to Atlanta, I used to sell bootleg movies and CDs. Right? You know what this guy told me? That's the reason why I know most of you all don't really listen to what I'm saying. You know what this guy told me in the comment section of a recent video I did about Atlanta? He was like, you gotta move down to Atlanta. And if you don't have a trade, you know, or you didn't, you know, you're not in corporate, etc., you know, you're not gonna make it. And he was like, yeah, you know, someone such as yourself, you can't go down there selling CDs. I'm like, hold on. What? What? So I noticed this man didn't listen to anything that I said because I've been stopped selling CDs. Who buys CDs? Who? I'm an author. Been one. I'm on my third book. I got a lot of things going for myself. But I'm not here to brag about it. And at the end of the day, it's none of you all business. You all go on and talk about how much money you make and who you work for. You got this going on and that going on. That's none of y'all. What I do with my business is my business. The first order of business is what? Mind your own. Double entendre. Mind your business and mind your business. Keep your mind on your business. That plain and simple. I'm not gonna lie, I did go down to Atlanta with great confidence, believing that was the Black Mecca, believing that I could network with different people, not knowing that it was all a facade, not knowing that people are clicked up, not knowing that Atlanta is blackface, that the reality of it is that black people don't really run Atlanta. White supremacy is alive and well. It's just in blackface. That's it. But hey, you all want to move down there? Be my guest. You like it, I love it. That plain and simple. But that is truly the reason why I left Atlanta. Because of the crime. I'll say three reasons. The crime, seeing black people homeless everywhere. Like they, you know, black people live. They're homeless black people that live behind Grady Hospital. You know that there are homeless black people that take that little train, not the MARTA. They sleep on the MARTA too, and they sleep in the train stations as well. But I'm talking about that little shuttle thing that takes you from like where Grady Hospital is and like the Waffle House and the Carousel and all of that. It takes you all the way straight down to Edgewood. That joint. There's people that sleep on that. Excuse me. Matter of fact, while I was down there, almost every day on the news, they had to kick the bums out of those shuttle trains. I got tired of seeing that. And yes, true indeed, there's homelessness in Charlotte. Yes, there's crime in Charlotte. But I'm not seeing someone getting killed every day or getting shot every day. Not here in Charlotte. Excuse me. Where I live at, we're blue collar workers. There ain't too much going on in Still Creek. Places like Still Creek, Ballantyne, South Park, Morrisville, Huntersville. I'm not lying. Just this past week, I don't think anyone got shot and killed in Charlotte or Metro Charlotte. But I know, I ain't gonna say I know because I didn't check up, but I'm pretty sure that someone got shot or killed in Atlanta or Metro Atlanta this past week. Straight up. And this is what's so crazy, and I'm gonna get you all up out of here. This is what's so crazy. I just found out, it was a couple months ago, that the state of Georgia they passed a bill where you're able to conceal and carry now without a permit. So y'all made the situation even worse. It's the Wild Wild West down there. For all you bourgeois, uppity Negroes, y'all might need something like this. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got one of these? Because you're going to need that for home defense. You know what I'm saying? What's your EDC? You need to borrow mine? For now? If you have children, are you training your children? Because I got a daughter that's pretty nice. If you don't believe me, check her out.
You wanna shoot it?
Straight up. But see, this is what these uppity Negroes won't tell you. I'm here to tell you the truth. Atlanta is fake. It is a fake Hollywood. It ain't nothing but a bunch of hustlers down there that have to hustle. You gotta have 4 or 5 different hustles. You have to. And if you're not into hustling, then you in corporate, looking down at the nobodies. That's what you're doing. That's how you treat your people down there. The uppity Negroes. The W.E.B. Du Bois Negroes. Talent and Tenth Negroes. We shall overcome Negroes. My name is Langston 2092. I want you to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely share this video.